Multiplying algebraic terms by a number. To multiply an algebraic term by a number, multiply the coefficient, the number, of the algebraic terms by the signed number. Then attach the variables, the letters. Use the rules for multiplying signed numbers. Example, multiply 7y by 3. 7y times 3 is equal to 21y. Example 2. Multiply a negative 5a to the second power times 3. Negative 5a to the second power times 3. Negative 5 times 3 be negative 15. Bring down your a to the second power. Therefore, negative 5a to the second power times 3 is equal to a negative 15a to the second power. Example 3. A negative 7xy to the second power times a negative 4. Multiply a negative 7 times a negative 4. Negative times negative, remember your rule for signed number, is equal to a positive 28xy to the second power. Or you can write this problem in a horizontal form and multiply a negative 7 times a negative 4 is equal to a positive 28xy to the second power. Example 4. 12b to the second power times 1/2. 12b to the second power, I'm going to write a 1 under 12b to the second power because I'm multiplying this expression times a fraction. 12b to the second power over 1 times 1 over 2. As you observe, 2 and 12 contains a common factor. So we can divide, 2 would divide into 2 1 time, 2 would divide into 12 6 times. 6b to the second power times 1 is equal to 6b to the second power. 1 times 1 is 1. Divide, we get 6b to the second power. Therefore, 12b to the second power times 1/2 is equal to 6b to the second power. Example 5. A negative 12ab times a negative 1/4. Negative 12ab over 1 times negative 1 over 4. Again, 4 and 12 contains a common factor. We can reduce it by cancellation. 4 divides into 4 1 time. 4 divides into 12 3 times. A negative 3ab times a negative 1 is equal to a positive 3ab. Remember the rule for signed numbers. A negative times a negative is equal to a positive. 1 times 1 is equal to 1. So the final answer is a positive 3ab. You can write 3ab without the positive because it's understood that if the positive is not there, it's understood that this is a positive number. So positive 3ab is the same thing as 3ab without the positive sign. Let's go to example 6. A negative 21xy to the second power times 1/3. Negative 21xy to the second power over 1 times 1 over 3. Again, by close observation, we can see that 3 and 21 contains a common factor. 3 would divide into 3, 3 would divide into 21. Let's apply the rule for cancellation. 3 divides into 3 1 time, 3 divides into 21 7 times. This is a negative 7. Negative 7xy to the second power times 1 is equal to a negative 7xy to the second power. 1 times 1 is equal to 1. So the final answer is a negative 7xy to the second power. In this particular problem, we must make sure that the negative remains with the answer. The answer, final answer, is negative 7xy to the second power.
We are back in our warehouse, and we're going to be demonstrating multiplying algebraic terms by a number. Now, this is a palette of 36 boxes of books. This is one of the books that we have, the Royal Race, and there's 36 of these boxes on this palette. And as you recall, volume is length times the width times the height. And that again is, the length is 14 inches, the width is 10 inches, and the height is 8 inches. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take one of these palette of boxes, and that's one similar to this, and multiply it by 3. So what we're going to do then is take the 36, multiply that by 3. 3 times 6 is 18. 3 times 3 is 9, plus the 1 is 108. So it's 108, and again, we just take the variables or the letters and bring them over. L, W, H. Let's find out what the volume is in cubic feet. Remember, 1 cubic foot equals 12 inches times 12 inches times 12 inches, and it equals 1,728. Now what we're going to do here, this is in, the length is in inches, 14, the width is in inches, and the height is in inches. So we have to convert the inches into cubic feet. 108, let's go to the calculator, clear it. 108 times the length, which is 14, times the width, which is 10, times the height, which is 8. That equals 120,960 cubic inches. So we divide that by 1728, and that equals 70. So we have here, this equals 70 cubic feet. Now let's do this individually. What is the volume of 36 of these boxes on this palette? Clear the calculator. 36 times 14 times 10 times 8 equals 40,320. Divide that by 1,728. That equals 23.333. 23.33 cubic feet. And we have 3 of these pallets, so we multiply that by 3 times 3. 3 times 3 is 9, times 9, times 9. 3 times 2 is 6. Move the decimal point over 2 places. Cubic feet. So it's 69.99. And because of the rounding of the numbers, you can see that this number is the same as the number up here. So when we multiply, which shows that we just take the numbers, multiply the numbers, and carry over the letters or the variables when we do multiplying algebraic terms.
Please pause the video now and complete the problems in your workbook. When finished, press play, and we'll continue with the next lesson.